So I got a package from Zhiyun recently that makes me very excited. This from Zhiyun, the MOLUS X60, I think is one of the most exciting pieces of gear that has come out recently. So let's talk about why. Now inside the case you get some documentation that we'll never read. We get a nice power supply. You can power this light in many different ways. You've got like a DC connector, so if you want to just have this, set up on a wall somewhere or on a stand and it's not going to move, DC connector is always a good way to go. It can be powered over USB-C, which is, if you've seen this channel, love USB-C powerable devices because you can buy USB-C cables for really cheap online and they're just great. Super small, easy connection. Or you can power it with a battery. So Zhiyun's new lights, they've been operating them with these batteries if you want to transport them and use them wirelessly. And this has multiple purposes, right? It's a nice little battery that can attach to the side of the light, but also you can use this as a power bank. It's got a USB-C in and out, so you can charge the little battery itself, or you can actually just, if you're traveling, you can charge your phone with this if you so wanted to. Now it also comes with this cool little reflector. Now getting soft light, typically you need a very large source. Like at the moment I'm using a giant softbox. I think this is like a, 120 centimeter. It's huge, right? It's a very big light. And this comes with this really nice little reflector. So you've got this little reflector that it comes with, and what this does is it amplifies the amount of light that will come out of the light itself by a pretty substantial margin. All of these little mirrors inside amplify and focus the light. So if you want to make your light brighter, you can use that. But also it has this really nice little diffusion thing that goes with it, which looks like this. So it's a really nice little small diffusion that you put on front. It pops in for travel, which, it's just it's like one of those little fidgety things that, you give your kid. But so cool little light here, a little attachment. And the last thing obviously that comes in the case is the light itself. Now this is actually the first time I have picked up the light. This is crazy. The fact that you can get a 60 watt light, COB light this size is wild. When technology can shrink to this size, we're going to start to see a lot of changes. This is going to really push a lot of other companies to realize, if we can shrink down our product to be this size and still offer high quality light, that's going to be very impressive. And I think it's going to shape a lot of upcoming products that we'll see in the future. Now, obviously this doesn't have a Bowens mount. So a Bowens mount is the classic mounting system that is used to connect lights. This is about the size of a Bowens mount on its own, but Zhiyun does sell a adapter where you can adapt it to a Bowens mount, and it has its own baby pin connector on there. So all of the weight of the softbox that you connect to their Bowens mount is not going to be on the light. It's going to be on the adapter, which I think is like $30 or $40. Now this is I'm probably going to say this a lot, but this is crazy how small this is. Even with the battery added, let's go ahead and get that clipped on there. Even with this added, this is so small. If you're wanting to find a small light that is going to be good for travel, that you can use easily anywhere that you go, you cannot beat this. There's no light this size that I've seen with 60 watts output, especially when you add the reflector. It's going to be a super bright, nice lens. We're going to test that here in a second.
1 week later.
Okay, so it's been about a week since I got my first impressions of this light, and you saw that just a second ago. Testing this light out over the last little while and using it sort of day to day for different projects here in the studio, I have to say I really enjoy it. I really like it a lot, and it's very versatile. Now, what I was hoping it would be able to do, it didn't really do. I was hoping this could replace like a key light, which it could, I think, if you have the Bowens mount adapter. So, which again is only like $30 or $40. This is plenty bright enough to replace this key light that I'm using right now. But with this little one that they sent me, this just isn't enough. Really to give a nice soft light. Well, what I'll maybe go ahead and do is just sort of change out this light for this combo here, and I'll show you the difference between a like 120 centimeter softbox and like a 30 centimeter softbox. So just so that you can see the difference. Now this is the softbox attached to the light. This is at 1%, by the way. Obviously, this studio is not particularly bright to begin with, but this is 1%. Now it's not very soft, and it's a little bit too harsh for my liking. Just looking at the screen here, everything is just a little bit too harsh. You can even see, shadows are very strong. It's not the worst thing in the world. If this is all you have, this is better than nothing. But I think this light is going to be better off if you don't have the Bowens mount adapter. This light is going to be better off being used as a background light or a sort of fill light or a color added light for your videos rather than a key light. But they do have that Bowens mount adapter that is going to be a whole lot better because you can just add any softbox to it, and it takes all the weight on the Bowens mount adapter, not on the light itself, because that light's not going to hold anything. So the little adapter is probably the way to go if you're wanting to use this as a key light. So obviously a much larger, softer light I think is more pleasing. But what I have to say that this light is fantastic for is for background lights, for accent lighting, and just for fill lights. So, you know, if you want to raise the ambient light of a room, or if you want to add some color to a background, this thing being so tiny is perfect. Especially with this little mini diffuser and like a clamp. One of the best accessories I think for this light is literally just a magic arm with a clamp on it. This tiny little thing will basically allow you to add the light to anything. You can, you know, it's got a 1/4-20 thread here on the bottom. You can attach this on here and then just clamp the light to anything, like a stand or a shelf or a door handle or like whatever you want. And the thing that I've enjoyed doing with this is using this as like a hair light. So you can see at the moment I don't have this hair light going on. So just out of frame over here I have like a big metal shelf where I just put a bunch of stuff. And I'm going to clamp it to the shelf and just give me this nice little rim light. Now this is it at 1%, giving me quite a little bit of fill here. Now this has the softbox or diffusion on it, and it's coming at me sort of directly from the side, which is just lighting up this side of my face. It's adding a more even light, which this is kind of a nice look. You could also warm it up, so you can make it a much warmer light. This kind of just makes it feel like maybe, you know, especially with this window light going on out here, maybe it's sunset outside, something like that. You can do that. Now one of the other things you can do with having a nice color on here is you can add it to the background of a shot. So here I have this sort of light blue color, and if I turn it up to be quite bright and I set it right behind me, lighting up this whole background, is I can sort of change the whole color and style of a shot. Now this is a really great tip when it comes to lighting a shot or like an interview setup or a YouTube studio, is that skin tones are made up of yellows and oranges, stuff like that. So if you add some blue or teal to the background of the shot, it makes you pop from the background because orange is the opposite of teal or blue. So that's why you see so many things about teal and orange, right? It makes the orange pop a whole lot more. Now I've literally just set that light behind me on the ground and it is just lighting up the background with a light blue tealish sort of color, which just makes me sort of pop out a whole lot more. Now this light and this little bulb here are also orange, so that might affect this style a little bit, but it just makes the colors pop a little bit extra. And there's just so much that you can do with this, right? There's so many applications for product photography, for travel videos, travel photography. You can just put this anywhere, and all of this stuff fits in this nice little case. So in here, you know, I've got all power cables that I could possibly want. If I want to use USB-C, I've got it in there. If I want to use DC, I've got that in here. I've got my little clamp with the magic arm on there. I've got the light, the battery, and the diffuser all in this one little case. So if I'm traveling, this is fantastic. It's a nice little case. It's going to protect it well. I don't think I would recommend this little softbox thing. This isn't bad. I just don't think I'd recommend it. It's an optional extra for about $40, and what I would recommend is getting the Bowens mount adapter instead. That's going to take all of the weight off of the light if you do attach it to a stand, and it allows you to attach a much larger softbox. So if you're wanting to get an accessory like a softbox for this light, I don't think this is the way to go. I think the Bowens mount adapter is the way to go, because you're going to be able to add whatever softbox you would want to, big or small. So lighting makes such a huge difference in your videos and any content that you make. If you're doing any sort of production work, lighting is always going to be a worthy investment to add into. A camera is only as good as the light that is able to hit the sensor, so make sure that you invest in some good lighting. But I want to hear your thoughts down below. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed the video, drop a comment, or maybe even subscribe as we continue to build this channel. I appreciate all of you for doing so, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.